Many people don't realize there are a lot of different types of orgasm that can happen in the body. I'm going to touch on a number of different ways that men can experience orgasm. The one that I think most men are most familiar with is actually ejaculation. But what they don't realize is that orgasm and ejaculation are two separate things. Orgasm, for example, is controlled by the parasympathetic nervous system, and ejaculation is controlled by the sympathetic nervous system. So there are two different parts of the brain controlling these types of orgasms. Ejaculation is more of a reflex, whereas the orgasm is something that is that repetitive motion of muscular contraction. Orgasm takes relaxation, ejaculation takes tension. So your body is actually at odds with itself during this type of orgasm. Now, something that some men have experienced or have worked towards is having an orgasm without ejaculation. And it's completely possible to separate the two from one another. You can actually have an ejaculation without an orgasm at all, which a lot of men have experienced. You can have an ejaculation without even having an erection. But to have an orgasm, you really have to be in that relaxed parasympathetic state. So there are many different ways to move into this type of orgasm, which is a much softer orgasm. It feels a bit different than that ejaculatory expulsion and feels more deep in the body. So that type of orgasm you feel in your penis. You feel that energy moving through the penis, that sensation moving through. Now there's another type of orgasm which happens deeper in the body, which is actually from the prostate gland. And there are two different types that can happen here. Again, an ejaculatory orgasm, which is like the milking of the prostate. So as you're coaxing the prostate, there will be fluid that comes out, but it doesn't necessarily come out with that orgasmic feeling. Another thing that can happen is an orgasm that's this contraction of the prostate. It happens internally. It's a deeper, some people say it's a female type of orgasm, sort of like a vaginal orgasm where he's really feeling this deep into his body. There's also an anal orgasm that has nothing to do with the prostate. So with really prolonged play, say you're doing anal massage and then you move into intercourse or penetration with a dildo or a toy, that with that prolonged play, because the anus actually has sphincter muscles which can contract and relax just like an orgasm, you can experience this type of orgasm happening in the anus. And I've had lots of reports of people experiencing this and not knowing what this is. I had this highly pleasurable sensation. What was going on here? And they're actually experiencing an orgasm in the anus. So be open to that possibility. In a male body, there's also the potential for full body orgasm and multiple orgasm. So if you learn how to control the ejaculatory response, you can have orgasm after orgasm after orgasm, and they come in waves. Eventually, these can expand out to what I call a full body orgasm, which is where your whole body starts to tingle. Your whole body feels orgasmic. You start to be in an orgasmic state as opposed to having an orgasm. So an orgasm may last a couple of seconds, but when you are in an orgasmic state, you stay in a prolonged state of feeling sort of this bliss, sort of this altered state of consciousness where your whole body feels really good. Your whole body feels as if it's had an orgasm. And you stay in that state for long periods of time, hours in some cases. For some people, they stay in that state all the time. They live in an orgasmic bliss state. Another type of orgasm, which is a lot more subtle, is an energetic orgasm that runs throughout the entire body. Some people call them aftershocks. It's where your body will start shaking or jerking after you've had a really explosive orgasm, and it's a continuation of that orgasm. In Tantra, we call them kriyas. They mean action, and they can actually happen anytime during lovemaking. But a lot of people stop them because they're afraid of it, or they think they're going to look weird, or they don't really know what's happening in their body. But I really encourage you to, if you feel like your body wants to move in a wave, or you feel like a shaking or a jerking happening, that you allow that movement to happen throughout the body. And it sort of looks like it's hard to replicate without it actually happening, but it's like it's coming from here. Your body pulses, it shakes, it jerks. You may get it all over where you just start going into total like a spasm. And this is a really, I find it the most pleasurable type of orgasm because it's moving through my whole body, it's moving up my spine, and it's very, very pleasurable. So to not be limited in your idea of what orgasm is the importance. That an orgasm can happen in your pinky finger, it can happen in your eyelid, it can happen anywhere in your body. Any piece of your body can be orgasmic, not just in your genitals. So I invite you to really play with this idea and play with expanding your orgasm out. Expanding your orgasm all the way to your toes, all the way to your fingertips, all the way to the top of the head. And see what you can discover. See if there are other orgasms there just waiting to explode out of you.